Perfect. I was waiting on notification. There we go. Boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this morning. We have a great guest with us, one who is going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than all the way from Japan, Brother Muniqui Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam, beloved. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great, sir. The first question that we have for you today is, when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Brother, I was born in the Nation of Islam. I am a nation baby. I am a third generation nation baby. My father and mother are FOI and MGT in the ranks going all the way back to before the 60s. And my grandfather was an assistant minister under the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I grew up in these teachings, and I attended Muhammad's University of Islam when I was a child, before the fall of the nation. So I have a long line of pedigree in this teachings. I was born in this, grew up in it.
Beautiful. All praises due to Allah. And yes, sir, with your parents, maybe have their names as well as your grandfather.
All right. My father's name is Brother Alan X in Phoenix, Arizona. My mother is Sister Vincy. I want to give a shout out to them and to my brothers, Alan II, Alfonso and Lonnie. Love you all. Assalamu alaikum. And my grandfather, oh man, grandfather Willie. He's transitioned now, but yes, sir. So that was him.
Beautiful. All praises due to Allah. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so my second question for you is, how was Muhammad University of Islam prior to 75? What was it like growing up during that time period?
Prior to 75, we lived an Islamic life as best as we could. It was all about the work. It was all about the teachings, and being a child, you know, you would go to Muhammad's University of Islam and get your education. And that was normal to me. But the big shift after the fall of the nation, and I had to go to public school, that was very jarring, because it is the equivalent of being thrown from one culture into another, and you don't speak the language. And when I say the language, even though you're speaking English grammar, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily speaking the same language of the people that you're around. In the Nation of Islam, we have our own language and our own culture. Brother, all general orders are in effect. I say that to you, you know what that means. I can't say that if I'm just out in the street. All general orders are in effect. They don't know what that means. So being a child and having to transition from the University of Islam into public school, that was not easy, especially when you have to now sit next to and look at and study with people who don't share your values or world outlook. That's the simple way I'll put that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And to an extent, I definitely can understand, as someone who went to Muhammad University of Islam in Chicago until high school, and then I went to public school, and that was a culture shock for me and all my siblings as well. So to an extent, yes, sir, I can understand.
Understatement. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so what was it, you seeing the fall of the nation as a child, how did it affect you personally, and how did it affect your family?
To see brothers and sisters who were soldiers for Muhammad, and to see them, the closest way I can explain this without it sounding shocking is, if you go on to the YouTube and go look at the old Soul Train videos of the brothers and sisters doing the Soul Train line down the aisle.
Yes, sir.
And as much as we like to sometimes clown about the way they dress and the way they move, to see brothers and sisters who would be FOI and MGT, and then to see the heartbreak that we went through, and then many of us would, let's just say, we turned into the Soul Train dance line. It was a disco era, and a lot of people were more brokenhearted and disappointed and didn't know how to deal with the pain of it. And so as a child growing up, I saw all of that. I saw that and went through it, and there was a lot of crying, a lot of tears and everything. And as a child, I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to help my family out. But there was a lot of frustration, a lot of anger, and heartbreak. Some people were trying to hold on. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad he's right, and he told us the truth. But when we looked at what was going on around us at the time, how do you square what you're looking at physically in front of you, and the loss of people going out back into the world, the properties going away, the classes being dismantled? How do you square that with, I know I wasn't lied to, I know that what we were taught was right. How do you understand this? And so this is why I say all praise is due to Allah and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and for their preparing the honorable minister Louis Farrakhan the way they made him, to come back and heal the broken hearts, to pour medicine into the hearts of those who were willing to accept it, because there were a lot of brothers and sisters who chose not to accept or listen, and then chose not to understand or accept what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was giving us. And so there are still some brothers and sisters who are out there who have not come back. But those who did have been great helpers to him to grow our understanding in what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. And now we're striving to take it to the next levels and to evolve, as is the way of Allah. He is the evolver of all things till their eventual perfection. But many of us because we got stuck thinking that what we had, past tense, was what was supposed to always be, instead of knowing that we are to evolve properly into higher, deeper understandings of the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Beautiful. Okay, yes, sir. You teaching and people are showing love all across the country. Thank you all for watching. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. All right. Once you became of age, and you can make a decision to accept the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for yourself, what was it that made you want to accept the teaching?
When I was in the University of Arizona, down in Tucson, Arizona, shout out to the Wildcats, and I was trying to be a typical college student, and Allah would not let me. I can say that now. Back then, all I knew is I was not able to live what I would call the typical college student life. You know, my friends were doing all kind of things that at the time I would say, man, they're lucky, and I'm not. But I just could not. I was like a square tire. I was like a square tire. You don't see any cars with square tires on it, or triangular. That was me. But I could not understand why I was not able to live that life that I thought I was supposed to live. And so at the third year of my university life, I had an emotional breakdown, beloved. And I had to And I went for a run around the what's called the University of Arizona Mall. If anyone Googles the University of Arizona, they have a small replica of the Washington, D.C. Mall. And I spoke out loud to Almighty God Allah, and I asked him what was the best thing for me to do. And he answered me. Of course, I thought I was losing my mind when I heard the answer, but I tried the answer, and it started me on an evolutionary path to come back to accepting Islam. That meant I had to then go back. I took a 6-month sabbatical at home. My mother, Sister Vinci, she nursed me back to health mentally and spiritually. I started reading the Bible, graduated to reading the Holy Quran, the books of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and that rebuilt me from the inside out. And then in January of 1993, I returned back to the University of Arizona, and in my mother's words, she says, "He's okay now. He's with Allah. He'll be okay." And from then on, it's been an ever evolutionary climb and development of your brother to become where I am now, the brother in the East, the brother. Are the.
All praise due to Allah. Beautiful, and that's a powerful testimony. And Sister Tynetta out of Oakland says, "Yes, sir. People showing you love. Excellent." All right. Now, how did you get to Japan?
Good segue. How did I get to become the brother in the East? Well, I was studying, first of all, I have a bachelor's degree in Spanish, and this goes back to that particular lesson that I asked you to ask me about later on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm a Spanish degree, and I was in Mexico studying on a study abroad, and I had a chance to take a Japanese class, and I took it. Okay, great, cool, no big deal. Come back to the university, go back to the U of A in Tucson, and my interest in Spanish started to go down, and everything about Japanese started to go up like this, and I didn't understand it. And I did have an experience where I saw myself walking down the street among Japanese people, and I saw a certain news event taking place. It's all an experience, and I just knew that I was supposed to go to Japan. So I applied for what's called the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. And the first time the application wasn't accepted, but the day before the letter came saying your application wasn't expected, that was the day that I had the experience that I just mentioned. Is when I saw, well, I'm going to be among Japanese people. Okay, wow, I guess I got to get ready to go to Japan. Next day, letter comes in. You didn't get accepted. Let down. The second time I applied, get a little bit further, still got let down. Third time, it was during Ramadan. And I started seeing certain signals. One, the Coalition for the Remembrance of Elijah published that they had interviews with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad from the Japanese and Chinese press. And I looked at that. Is that a sign? I don't know. Next, Mother Tynetta Muhammad wrote 3 articles on Japan, and in the Final Call newspaper. All of this is taking place while I'm on my 3rd attempt to go to do this program. And I said, if I don't get it this time, it's not meant for me. The day of the interview for that program, I had finished reading my Holy Quran and Ramadan readings, and I closed it, and the voice just said, "You don't have to ask me about going to Japan anymore." And I just knew. I went to that interview knowing that we got to prepare. And from that point on, I've been preparing. And so I moved to Japan. I physically touched down on the ground July 20th, 1998. And that's how I became the brother in the East.
Beautiful. All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. Walaikum salam, Naima. My sister's name is greetings. Thank you, everyone who's watching.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. So you're the brother in the East.
Yes, sir, I am.
Did you ever want to recruit other people from America to assist you? And how do you go about expressing the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in Japan when you're the only brother?
Great question. When I was preparing to come to Japan, your brother had yet another experience. In this, I won't go through all the details, but if you happen to subscribe to Rise magazine, which is published by Brother Student Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad in Atlanta, I've been blessed to write a series of articles. And the first 3 articles was introducing myself, and the next 3 were the experience that led to me being here in Japan. In that experience, I detail in extreme detail every aspect of what caused me to be here and what brought me here. And in that experience, beloved, I was told, quote, your assignment is not to try to light the torches of the people with the torchlight that you carry, but for anyone who is interested, no, you are to live among them, work among them, study, get to know them. And anyone who finds your way of life interesting, bring them to the torchbearer. It's his job to teach them and take them to onward. So I was instructed not to openly and actively strive to teach the teachings the way that you and I would do if we were in America. I'm instructed to basically let my light shine. Let the way, let our character, our carriage, our rectitude be the way that is attractive to people. If when we're going out with our friends, sitting there, oh, would you like some of this? Oh, no, thanks. Well, why not? Oh, not for me. I'm striving to, live differently. Put some bait on the hook that the people like. Show them that you can be smiling, you can be friendly, you're personable. Let them get to know and feel and introduce. And I teach my children to call me Mr. Muhammad, not Muniqui, because Muhammad will live on after Muniqui has been gone. So my job is to help put Muhammad into the brains of people, so that the next time a brother or sister from Muslim comes, they'll say, my teacher was Mr. Muhammad. He was also a Black man from America too. He looked like you, he looked like me. And so that there's a connection made, make them to fall so much in love with Mr. Muhammad that after me, whenever Muhammad, Sister Muhammad, Brother Muhammad comes along, there'll be an instant attraction because their teacher was so pleasant and enjoyable to be around. But we have encountered there are people here who have a very pro-Black way of living, and they want to know more. And so we do direct them to Final Call newspaper and to our brothers and sisters, and we direct them to our social media, which is why I strategically place certain things for people. So that is how I've been guided to work with the people here in Japan. It's not you have to sometimes, there's different soldiers in the army. There's some infantrymen, and some people do more stealth. You got some tanks, and then you have, small light troopers who are able to maneuver in and out, maybe where a tank can't, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, makes perfect sense. Yes, sir. Okay, you teach it, Brother Muniqui. And Sister Tynetta says, be an example, be yourself, which is a righteous Muslim, beautiful. And thank you, everyone who is showing love.
Thank you, everybody. Love you.
Yes, sir. Okay, I want to know what it's like as someone who, many of the viewers of the People's Podcast know, I don't say you have trepidation, but I just don't, haven't traveled abroad a lot outside of Jamaica. So what is the culture difference being in Japan? Is it something you recommend that we visit, or will it be a culture shock for us? What is it like being in Japan as somebody who's from America?
All of the above.
Mm.
One thing that we as Black people have to get out of, is a fear of travel. One thing that we as Muslims, when we are able to travel, we have to remember there's a reason why we're told the total area of the land and water of the planet Earth is 196,940,000 square miles. Having traveled, there's one thing I can say is that as a Muslim, I literally feel, when I get to any country, I feel at home because the earth is our home. It doesn't have to just be Africa or just be Jamaica. There's a way to connect to people no matter where you go on earth if you seek refuge in Allah. I personally have asked him, I asked Allah, show me the people that you approve of wherever I go, regardless of whether they call themselves Muslims or if they're Black. But they don't have to be Black like me. They don't have to use the name Muslim. But I asked Allah, show me the people who, when they call, you answer. And he has placed me to experience among people who have faith in Almighty God. They have their own expression of it. But when I'm among them, I feel at home. Yes, you're going to experience culture shock, even though there are many non-Japanese people on television. When you travel abroad, seeing people on television doesn't quite register to you until you are standing next to the person in live and in person. And a lot of the children that I teach, they don't know anybody that looks like me, and they certainly don't know anybody with this hair. So there's a curiosity about them. The difference here in Japan is that people are genuinely curious about you. So yes, they're going to be looking at you, because if you were used to a bowl of rice and someone put one tiny speck of pepper on it, it's easy to see that one piece of speck of pepper than the whole rice bowl. So you stand out. You have to think about how dear Holy Apostle, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, looked to us. Wow, it's really him. Or how did the Savior look? How did the Savior look with his complexion being among us at Black Bottom, Detroit? You stand out, but that creates an attractiveness. And if you're not comfortable with who you are, and if you're not comfortable with letting people close to get to know you, then you're going to react in a hostile manner, and that's going to put a bad taste in people's mouth who may just want to get to know you. Recently, I tried to take a trip, and I was in a convenience store just picking up some things, and a little girl was with her father, and she literally was like this. I'm minding my own business. I'm used to it. It says, oh, hey, little baby girl. And so like she's leaving, she does like this. That's a child's like way of saying, wow. And so I smiled and waved back. And the little girl was like, it's like, Daddy, what are you doing? No big deal. No big deal. I go on about my business. They have to come back to the store to do something else. And I say to the man in Japanese, sir, you have a special little daughter. She's a bright energy. She's going to grow up and be really a positive person. And the dad's like, hey, did you hear that, baby girl? You're going to be a great. And she's all happy, like beaming. So you're going to have different experiences. You got some people, the children, they look at you and they want to run away. Some people look at you and they want to come closer to you. You have to be comfortable with who you are and know that people are only reacting to what they know. And a lot of them haven't met someone like people like us in person. Relax, smile. Let the people get to know you. You might make a friend, and making friendships in all walks of life is our teachings.
Excellent, brother. Breaking it down. Yes, and thank you all. People are afraid of the dark. They are afraid of the unknown. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, now I wanted to ask you, could you say something for us in Japanese? Like, could you, put us on to something, so that something that you might say, a phrase or something that we may need to know when we're over there. outside of Konnichiwa, something that we may have heard.
Okay. Boku no namae wa Muniqui Muhammad desu. Yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. 僕はアメリカ出身だけど、25年日本に住んでます。
Okay.
What I just said, basically, I said, there's a phrase in Japanese that's called yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. There is no one English translation for it. It could mean nice to meet you. It could mean please, but the main is please treat me favorably. If you want someone to do something for you, could you please give me a glass of water? You could say, could you please get me a glass of water, or get me a glass of water, and you put yoroshiku on it. And it's like, there is no English equivalent of it. So it doesn't translate, but it's like, please treat me favorably. It's yoroshiku is a very convenient phrase. I said shushin, which is like my home state. So I said I'm from America. Shushin wa America desu. Shushin is America. Shushin is like home country, America. And then I also said Nihon de 25 nen ni sundemasu. I said, so in Japan for 25 years, I have lived. And so that is what I said to you all in Japanese just now. Pero yo también, pero hablo español también. Es importante para hablar todos los idiomas. I just said I also speak Spanish as well. It's important to understand the languages.
Gracias. Boom, you're teaching. Excellent. Yes, sir. Okay. Man, people are powerful. And then Sister Sana said the Japanese little girl was thinking when she saw you, this is what God looks like. Absolutely. All right. Okay, excellent. 1 second. We have a quick 60-second commercial break, sir, for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. This 1 second. Here we go. And I want to thank everyone who continues to show love. And please go back on YouTube to watch all of the episodes. Here we go. 1 second. Of the People's Podcast, because we have a lot more questions for our brother as well. 1 second. Here we go. Yes, we have a lot more episodes. There we go. Perfect. There we go. All right. Yes, sir. We have a few more questions for our brother, and he's teaching us way from Japan, because I didn't understand what the time difference was, but now I understand where he lives. So we definitely want to be respectful to the time zone of our brother in Japan. All right, here we go. 1 second.
Camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of those services. Sister Miriam's ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, and now Spanish book. All three available on Amazon.com. Sister Naima's Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country, right here in the studios of Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Kenneth's Bow Tie Maker Extraordinaire. He'll ship you bow ties anywhere across the nation. Dr. Henry Carter's King Henry Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad's COVID-19 Disinfected Cleaning Services, out of Chicago. Student Minister Sharif Muhammad's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, available on adulsharif.com. And lastly, Brother Joshua Muhammad's book, Cleopatra, as well as No Father, No Excuse, both available on Amazon. If you would like to donate or...
Thank you for every like, share, and subscription of the People's Podcast and every anonymous Cash App donation. We are greatly appreciative of it. My next question, sir, is Mother Tynetta. You spoke about her. Why are her writings so important and valuable to the believers?
Because Mother Tynetta, may Allah be forever pleased with her, was teaching us what we in what is commonly called metaphysics in a way that prepared us. And what metaphysics is exactly that, meta, like it's above the physical laws of this creation. And I would read her articles, and I admit, a lot of what she was saying, it would go over my head until I got the training that I've gotten recently. And now that I go back and look at Mother Tynetta Muhammad's articles, and so much makes sense. But her work gives us a firm grounding and an explanation of metaphysics that it goes far beyond what many people in the metaphysical world talk about. At the same time, Muslims generally ignore. And it drives me crazy. It drives me up a wall.
Okay, we're waiting on our brother. We're waiting on our brother Muniqui to finish coming back. Got a little Wi-Fi issue, perhaps. Japan. Okay, there you are. Okay, you ready? Can you hear me?
Was there technical difficulties?
Yes, sir. There was, but we're right here with you. Okay, so Meta metaphysics. It went over your head. Boom. Right here with you.
It went over my head, but with the training that I've received recently, and I've been on for the past since 2016, going back and rereading her articles shows that she was teaching us what is commonly called metaphysics, but in a way that would make it Islamic, and it would help us to stay focused on the mission and not throw away Islam and pick up these other things when the metaphysics is it enhances our Islam. It's another tool. It is Islam just spoken and done in another way. And oh God, am I excited about that. Because it is just like when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan reintroduced to us the tool of Dianetics to get to heal the mind.
Yes, sir.
In my opinion, I'll say it that way. In my opinion, what is commonly called as metaphysics is just how to access the higher vibrations and higher energies, accessing Allah's power, that we can use it for a more deeper healing of ourselves and our communities if we, as Black people in general, Muslims in particular, would stop being afraid and choose to expand our knowledge.
Yes, sir. Okay, so how do we tap in? How do we tap in? Put this on.
How do you tap in? First, you look at go to Twitter and you type in the word Farrakhan and metaphysics, and he had a tweet about that. What metaphysics is, beloved, you have different tools. The first one is we were given to it right there in the actual facts. Light travels at 186,000 miles per second, and sound travels at 1,120 feet per second. What's that there for? There's a lot of brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam, and I see you have music all over your wall there. There's a lot of brothers and sisters who do music, but there's a field called sound healing. And the notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7 notes. What do we have in the opening of the Holy Quran? 7 oft repeated verses. And there's 7 and light that comes from the sun, which this Holy Quran says that the messenger of Allah is a light-giving sun. Well, the sun, the light that comes from the sun can be broken down into 7 frequencies that we can see, that we call that the rainbow. Each one of those frequencies corresponds to a power center in our body that's called, in Indian language, they call those the chakras. And you hear a lot of metaphysical people talk about chakras. But here's the other thing. Mother Tynetta informed us that yes, well, there's 7 main there's 7 chakras that most people talk about, but there's 114 of them in the body. Well, there's 7 oft repeated verses of the Holy Quran, which makes up the quintessence of the Holy Quran, but there's 114 chapters in the Holy Quran, which means that just as you feed the 7 chakras, you feed all 114 chakras in the body. If you focus exclusively on the Al-Fatiha, the opening of the Quran, you get the essence of the Quran. But then you also can break those frequencies down into different aspects. You know somebody who's feeling disempowered, they're powerless, they're kind of moping around, I ain't got no juice. That's a solar plexus situation. That person needs to be fed on the color yellow. Give them oranges. You got some person who's literally having faith and heart problems. That's the color green. That's right in the center of your chest. Put them, give them some green vegetables and whatnot. And then there's sound that corresponds to that. You can go on YouTube and get sound healing. All of this is right in the teachings. If you go at crystals, if you go into the Final Call newspaper and this type the word crystals or sound healing into the Final Call, Mother Tynetta Muhammad's articles are going to come up. That's how, and then if you type in this word, ATTUNE, attune, type that word in, and you'll see that she was talking about attuning. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us in the Theology of Time, I don't have the exact date, but we know it was in 1972. He said, he spoke about Jesus and how his ability to tune in.
Teaching.
Well, if you can tune in, tuning, this is the greatest sending and receiving instrument in the universe. Well, if you tune it up, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said for us to do, tune up. Again, going back to that music you got on your wall, tuning, vibration, sound, high frequency, all of that is what you're talking about in what's called metaphysics, but that is what we have been given in our Islamic teaching that many of us as Muslims ignore, we don't recognize it, and we just dismiss it. But all of this that we're doing, the fasting and the praying, is to increase our vibrations. Haven't you ever had that time, brother, when you would, you were thinking about somebody, this person comes to my mind, and then they either send you a text or you get a call from them? That's because you are in what's called harmonic resonance. All of this is what they talk about in metaphysics, but we talk about it in Islam as well if we would go back and restudy it. And that is what your brother does. That is what I do. And that is what it is. We would be the believers if only we would tune in and tune up. We would be much higher and you would increase our vibration. That's why people who walk into, like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, when he walks into a room, he doesn't have to walk into the room. He can be outside the room. You can feel his presence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Vibrating on such a high frequency that the higher the pure the vibrations, the more it goes out before you. That is what we have been given the study of, but many of us are too afraid to engage in it. And that is what hurts your brother. But that's what we're striving to help our believing family understand. We have to take these teachings and take those, what they call metaphysics, and apply the supreme wisdom, because we have the supreme wisdom on those metaphysics. But these people have gone ahead of us, so they have a lot more information to it. But we can help them, and they can help us if we would choose to learn what is originally ours in the first place.
Oh, praise due to Allah. You teaching, bro, Muniqui?
Muniqui.
Muniqui, got it, Kai. Yes, sir. And people are saying some people don't even want to get their car tuned up, speak on it. Seven heavens, absolutely. Thank you very much, Susanna. Thank you, everybody who's watching. Okay, you've given us some amazing homework and some stuff to look into, dealing with the crystals, metaphysics. In my mind, I think through music and film. I'm an actor, so I'm always going to think about, of course, the most overly used movie of all time within the nation is The Matrix and things of that nature. Anytime X-Men or superheroes get their powers, the power of the mind. Yes, sir. We lock it in. We lock it in. All right. So
and brother, as an actor, you have to tune into the frequency of the character in order to embody the character. That character exists on paper, and you tune in, you get in sync with that. And that's how the good actors get in harmony with the character. You can't tell you're looking at an actor playing a role. You believe that's that person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I want to ask you, sir, about the problem book, yes, number 25. Yes, sir.
The Public Library of Cairo has 3,700,000 books, of which 60,000 deal exclusively with mathematics, astronomy, language, and other sciences of life. Let's stop right there. Mathematics, which is Islam. Brother, I got to put you on the spot. How much mathematics did you study when you were at what's the highest level of mathematics you were blessed to study?
It's a great question. I'm gonna go geometry, and I'm gonna go physics. Physics 2 in college, physics 2 my sophomore year, physics 2, but geometry in high school, and then physics 2 in college.
All right. Mathematics is Islam, and mathematics is applied mathematics, which gives you science.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people say they don't like mathematics, which is Islam. Well, then that's barely why. Everything in this universe we're taught is mathematical and can be proven. In math, there's proofs. Now, I'm asking that because a couple of months ago, Allah showed me something about your brother's history. Your brother was a computer engineering major for a while. And that meant I had to study some levels of mathematics that vector calculus, differential equations. None of that makes any sense to the average person on the street, but these are mathematical languages that the Supreme Being knows, and that lesson says there's 59,999 other books of mathematics. If we don't even like math that's existing, how are we supposed to master and get a grip on the others that's waiting for us? Astronomy. That's the next one, mathematics and astronomy. Brother, how many astronomy apps do you have in your smartphone?
Probably none. Let's go ahead.
That's the problem. That's the problem. And to your audience, since the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the bulk of this teaching is astronomy, and that is the creation of our ancestors, I have 6 apps in my phone, beloved. And that and studying and observing the distances between the planets, and knowing that the sun is so powerful, that there is an object that is orbiting the sun. It orbits the sun once every 11,000 years. Its orbit, it orbits the solar system. But when you think about that, means that the light of the sun is so powerful, it can reach something so far out and make it orbit around itself. Well, then that means that this teaching that we have, even though we don't think and we don't see the results, the light of that comes from this teaching is reaching people in places you do not know through music, sound. There's that sound again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Our culture is all over the world. It's been said many times. So since Islam, under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was the big influence on the golden age of hip hop, then the more we can put the teachings back into the music and make that cool again, shows my age, make that popping again, that is going to transmit around the world. Language. How many languages do you speak, beloved?
One and two possibles. One and two possibles, sir.
What are the other two?
Spanish, a little Arabic. Spanish and a little Arabic.
Due to Allah. To your listeners, every one of us, do you have dictionary.com on your phone, beloved?
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. Every Muslim should be still looking up words every single day. Why? Because the master gave us an English lesson. And Allah has made English the dominant language around the world. He has made it possible for people to learn the language that we speak, I believe, so that to make it easier for us to convey the teachings to them. After English, what are the languages the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us, the three languages he told us to learn?
Spanish. Okay. Want to go, let's say perhaps Arabic, maybe Arabic. Not okay. And the third one, all right, let's go Japanese, since you're over in Japan. Okay.
Brother Jabril will be upset with you. He always said, brother, just so you don't know.
Okay.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us we should be learning Arabic, Spanish, and French.
French.
Because if you speak Spanish, you speak to all of our family in this hemisphere. You learn French, you speak to our brothers, just half of the continent of Africa. And then you got Arabic, our original language, that's the other half of Africa and the Muslim world. What languages did the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan? There's two languages. There's two ones that he came behind and said we should be learning as well.
What are these languages, sir?
Portuguese and an Asian language. Portuguese, you round out Brazil, which means if you got Spanish and Portuguese, you got the whole, and you got English, you got the whole Western Hemisphere on lock. An Asian language, because now you're going into Asia and you're connecting to our family. Your brother I'm an English teacher that covers the English. You have a bachelor's degree in Spanish. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said one of those three, and your brother lives in Asia, speaks an Asian language. So Master Farah Muhammad said English, Honorable Elijah Muhammad said these three, Honorable Louis Farrakhan said these. So now I didn't even realize that Allah had made your brother to do this, but that is what every one of us should be investing in something every day because these teachings, the world is waiting for them. And the last one, so we got mathematics, astronomy, languages, and other sciences of life. That is what problem 25 says. That those other sciences of life are the things that we can learn to heal using sound, using the human voice. You can speak life to people. But if your vibration is not high enough, they won't feel it. That's why the MGT, they have all those different colors. The sisters use color therapy. And then hands-on healing, which is what your brother does, a professional Reiki practitioner. Healing using by the Allah's energy to help work and heal and others with his energy by his permission. These are some of the sciences of life that he wants to give us access to. Others, and he's given others access to it initially so that they can learn it so that they can either help us because we're a little slow, or also so that they can bear witness as we grow into the other sciences of life. All of this is contained right in the problem book, lesson number 25. And Allah was showing me that the other day. I was like, whoop. I was like, this is heavy. You got to study these languages and other sciences of life.
Yes, sir. All praise due to Allah. Excellent teaching, Brother Muniqui. And people are showing love all across the country. Sister Anita Rose says this is right up her alley. People saying, yes, sir. French and bear witness. That's right. Preaching. Okay, beautiful. I want to go to Brother Jabril. You said that he would be disappointed. What did you have personal interactions with him because of Phoenix, Arizona, or what was Brother Jabril like?
Oh man, Brother Jabril. Oh God. Shout out to Brother Jabril and his family. Growing up and growing through the rebuilding effort, and as a young brother in the mosque, those pioneer days and the believers, we were getting those 5 pounds of fish and the FOI were coming together and going out, bean pies. But the love that he poured out to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and he still pours out in his articles and in his books. Let's keep it 100. You got a man who came into the nation and the same year in the same mosque as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Both of them studied under Brother Malcolm X. And Brother Jabril was blessed to live in the same house as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad for a short period of time. We need to be studying more of his writings, and we need to go deep into the book Closing the Gap. We really need to go deep and heavy into that book. I admit I have to get deep into it myself, because you can't be one of the people in the presence of those 3 men, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, and Brother Malcolm X, and not have insight. And I was blessed to be a young brother in the ranks when he was the minister of Mosque 32 in Phoenix. And we have those lectures. And more than the lectures, it's his character. Not knowing that for all that you have done, your job is to be a support and a help. And many of us as biological males, because of our natural biology, some of us don't know how to play our role. A lot of us, if to use a musical analogy, a lot of us want to be a lead singer and a solo artist. And a lot of us don't know how to be in a band. And the lead vocal on the mic is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and Brother Jabril knew and knows how to back up, support, get the other things done that his brother would need. And a lot of us as biological males need to learn how to be in your role, whatever that is, and be happy in your role. But your role is unique. You don't have to be the lead singer on the mic all the time. Be the drummer, because the band can't play without the drums. You need to have the bass player, the keyboard. Play your part in making the beautiful symphony. And then we all benefit. But, in this individual, everyone wants to be a solo artist. And they say you can go far. If you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you go with everybody. And it's difficult, but it's necessary. Learn, study Brother Jabril's writings. Get his books, please, and read them and study them. And then study what it takes for a mind to be able to think that way, and ask Allah to give you your unique skills for your contribution to the onward march of freedom, justice, and equality. Because not everybody can be Brother Jabril, but you can be you. But you'll learn to be comfortable with who you were born to be. But you can't do that unless we ask Allah for his help and insight to know who and what we were born to be, and then help us to be ourselves. And that I asked Allah that. I'm born to be a teacher. Anything Allah gets me involved with, I get to a level where I teach it. I'm a natural teacher, and that's what I do. I teach English, teach Reiki energy healing, and I've been a Hawaiian hula dance instructor for a while. So anything Allah gets your brother involved with, he wants me to master it to a point where I can then teach it to others. What's your role? What's your job? Find out what that is. You will always be happy.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, I want to stay right there with the Reiki. Could you explain to us the power of that? Because I've heard a lot of people, especially on social media, they say they're in the Reiki, they're in the Reiki. Can you explain that to the person, somebody who's never had Reiki healing done to them?
Do you have a cell phone, a smartphone
Yes,
like this? All right. When your cell phone is starting to, okay, you got your apps, you got your music, you got your this, got your that. When your battery runs down, what do? You take it and you plug it into a power charger. Well, we as human beings, when we get low on energy, what do? Okay, we got eating, we got sleeping, we go to get a massage. Well, Reiki energy, Reiki means Rei, it means spiritually guided or divine universal. And the key is energy, like ki or chi is in Tai Chi, or Indians say prana. So it's universal life force energy. It is, to put it in Muslim language, it is the power that Almighty God used to create this universe that he has given to us to use, but we as human beings, we fell off. And so many different cultures have a practice like it in their language and culture, but most of those languages and cultures have it attached to a religion. You have to be if you want to learn baraka of the Sufis, which is a branch of Islam, well, then you have to be a Sufi. Well, I'm not a Sufi. If I'm not a Sufi, well, I can't learn their baraka. Reiki comes from Japan. Reiki, a lay Buddhist priest was seeking what's called Anshin Ritsume, the state of being in perfect peace with all that's going on around you. And when you do all you can, then you give your trust over to the universe that everything will be okay. That's the principle of called Anshin Ritsume in Japanese. Well, to me, do all you can, then seek refuge in Allah. That's how we say that in Arabic. So he was searching for a way to be at perfect peace at all time. And he went to a mountain that I have personally, by the grace of Allah, been to several times to get to, and he was fasting and praying. And on the 21st day of his fasting and praying, a light came down, knocked him out. When he woke up, he said, I'm in the universe and the universe is in me. What have we learned in Islam? That the universe is, that we are the universe in miniature. Well, he received the ability to channel the universal life force energy to have a healing effect on the spirit, mind, and body. In the church, or sometimes we see people when they put their hand on somebody, oh Lord, please heal so-and-so of, stiff shoulders, or heal them of the cancer. The Reiki practitioner isn't asking the divine to heal the person. The Reiki practitioner is just acting as a conduit that the energy can flow through for the highest good of the individual, whatever the power decides for that individual. It's like if you plug your phone into the electrical outlet, the electricity is going to flow through it and start charging the battery at the same time. You could actually be using your apps and doing this and the other. Meanwhile, the battery's getting charged up. Reiki is a way to de-stress your mind and body that allows for your immune system to work better. Your body's natural healing ability works better when it has been de-stressed. Reiki energy naturally de-stresses the body, resets your body, and allows it to work better. It's like you take your car in for a complete tune-up, your car runs better. Reiki energy is a way for the human being to use the natural energy that God put in the universe for the betterment of ourselves and others, and it works naturally. That's the beautiful part. It's natural. Look on your face is like, really?
No, because I'm my mind already. I'm like, I gotta get signed up. I need this Reiki in my life. I gotta get this done. Yes, sir. Teach it. Okay. I see people talk about it, but you broke it down very in a very great way. People putting exclamation marks saying beautiful. Yes, sir. All praise due to Allah. Wonderful. Can't wait to put this on YouTube as well. I want to ask you about a page that someone added me to that is very popular on Facebook, is always trending, and I'm very invested in the page because I just love to see our expression of dealing with unidentified flying objects, quote unquote, unidentified flying objects. What is it? What is the page, and what got you so
UFOs and the Nation of Islam? I wish I had my book in front of me. This Facebook page was put together by student minister Ilya Rashad Muhammad of Muhammad's Mosque number 55 out in Memphis, because our brother has written a book that most UFOologists run from. And he explains how it is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad who first gave the world anything about these wheels you see above our head. He answered the WH questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. The only person to answer those questions with definitiveness is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Everybody else out there is talking about, well, I think, maybe, possibly, we're guessing. Those words that don't come with what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said about the wheel. Student minister Ava Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with her, said that at the heart of this teaching is the wheel. Well, every other group on Facebook is talking about there's 2,000-mile long alien armadas coming from the beyond Pluto, and NASA's found them, and little green men, and well, stop. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad started teaching about these wheels in at least 1932, 10 full years before the first sighting took place, February 25th, 1942, in what's called the Battle of Los Angeles. That's the first sighting of officially, publicly, of the quote unquote UFOs. And from there, the UFO phenomenon has begun. And it is disrespectful for people in all these other places to say that they don't want to listen to what Elijah said. They want to listen to some people who are making guesswork. When he gave you how many there are, where were they built? How were they built? What are some of their capabilities? No one else can answer that. And brother student minister Ilya Rashad Muhammad has written a book, and he's now produced a docuseries called Answered, the first episode of which is available. Go to nationbrothers.com to check a look at it. And so your brother has been blessed to be the admin in the stead of Brother Student Minister Ilya Rashad Muhammad, because he's got work to do. So your brother is the admin of the group, and I volunteered to do it because I saw a lot of people trying to turn this group into just basically a typical UFO group. We want little green men, and I saw some people from Mars. I don't, with all due respect, I don't play that. Do not waste our time trying to talk about if the most honorable Elijah Muhammad did not say it. I'm sorry, with all due respect, you can take that and put it aside, because this is where the Nation of Islam is where you have to come if you want the truth about the UFO/UAP phenomenon. And I mean this with no disrespect. If what you think does not line up with what he said, put it aside, because that's fiction. This is the real, and it hasn't been disputed. Brother Ilya Rashad Muhammad, UFO people run from him because they can't deal with the actual facts he brings on the subject based on what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable minister Louis Farrakhan said. And so your brother has the privilege of being the admin of the group, keeping the group in line. A lot of people try to post a lot of other stuff. We correct them because we're only going to deal with actual facts. And a lot of people get upset with your brother because we won't let them, deal with the little green men and aliens. No, sir. Sorry, sir. That's not here. Not here. It's about the real wheel, not wishful thinking or fantasies.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All praise due to Allah. We have 2 more questions for you, sir. And thank you, everybody who continues to watch, like, share, and subscribe to the People's Podcast. What type of music do you like to listen to, sir?
I like to listen to lo-fi music, actually, brother.
Do
you know what lo-fi is?
No, sir.
Oh, man. Do you know Jay Dilla?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jay Dilla is considered one of the pioneers of it. It's actually a branch of hip hop music, but it's a lot of it's considered like a study music, but it's not slow like jazz, but it's not fast. There's usually no vocals to it, but it's something you can just drive. It's got a nice beat to it. You can just bob your head to it. It's just chilled out. Lo-fi music. It's all over. Also, of course, I like R&B. And I was just thinking about R&B today. I was thinking about people like Teddy Pendergrass, turn off the lights.
He's right there. He's
light
right
a candle. There you go, Teddy P. Shout out.
Teddy P.
But I like music, brother, where the people are actually playing instruments. I respect the note with the drum machine and the kit and everything, but there's something about having a real person playing the instruments that brings soul, that brings character, that brings a certain depth to the music. That is the difference between eating that home cooked meal cooked by the woman you love or by mom versus that fast food that's packaged up, that's just it might taste good, and you'll forget that you ate it just as soon as you ate it. But that home cooked meal, like Prince, Teddy P, Guy, Guy, gotta have my Guy. That kind of music that was written, not produced. I like my songs to be written. I like my Stevie Wonder. I like songs that are written, not produced. And there's I can sonically hear the difference between, a constant drum beat versus someone who's actually playing the drums. And that's what I like, beloved. It
mm,
just
mm.
fills my soul that way.
Yes, sir. Excellent, excellent. And Sister China says she feels like shouting like the church folks. Love this interview. Thank you very much. Boom. Perfect. All right. And our last question for you, sir, is what will you like your legacy to be, sir?
My legacy, beloved, is that on twofold. I already mentioned one, is that I have strived by the grace of Allah that every day I teach, no matter what age group, that they'll go forth and say, my teacher was Muhammad. And that long after I'm off the scene, the lessons that I strive to teach will be continuing to teach them. I tell this to my Japanese children all the time. Respectfully, I don't care if you don't like me, but you're going to get this English because 10, 20, 30 years from now, you're going to need to know what I'm teaching because I know what's coming. So I'm striving to help prepare the people of Japan for help to push them toward a future that's coming that we in the Nation of Islam know is coming that they don't. And part of it is what Master Farad Muhammad do it by making English the language that everyone knows. So I'm trying to help. My legacy will be to help them, prepare them for the future so that when they encounter, again, somebody named Muhammad, they'll have a warm feeling in their heart. They'll want to get to know you. They'll want to connect with you because their teacher was Muhammad and they love their teacher. But also, my legacy would be is to help us as a people overcome the fear of relearning our inheritance.
Mm.
And that inheritance starts with Islam and then all that comes along with it. We talk a lot about wanting to get back our original powers. Then with all due respect, why do Black people in general run from learning Reiki and, sound healing? Mainly because they don't see, if you Google it, you don't see nobody that looks like us. There are, but they're so few and far between that I don't want to know if I want to learn it from other people. Okay, fine. Myself and the few others, we've gone ahead of you. So you don't want to learn it from others, then come to us to relearn our birthright. Get back your original skill. And I'll tell it to you the way one of the students who came to us, an FOI, took our class, and he said this: Reiki has helped him to be a better Muslim. That's burned into my head. That's the point, to be a better Muslim, to be equipped, to be able to, when you hear that, brother so-and-so in the city of Chicago is suddenly, they were in a car accident. Yes, you pray for them, then you can actually direct the healing energy of the universe to go to that person and help them in the whatever way Allah chooses. You don't make the decision, but you can help them from wherever you are and wherever city you are in. And then if you got a group of believers who are praying, fasting, getting the engrams out of our heads with Dianetics, and we're united in purpose, and you have access to Allah, and you know how you have attuned to losing his energy, and we all simultaneously praying and asking for the energy to go to help believers and people in different situations around the world. That's my legacy would be to help make that happen. That's why your brother does what he does. That's what I'm here for. So that after I'm off the scene, we got believers who can, oh man, my back's bothering me. Brother Joshua, can you give me some of the good stuff? Yeah, bro, I got you. Oh, that feels much better. Okay, thank you, brother. That's what I'm about.
That's powerful. Yes, sir. That's
Pardon my
powerful. Yes,
passion.
sir. Oh, no, sir. That's amazing. All right. Well, I want to thank you and thank everyone who's watching. People are saying, "Ed safe and whip slime, Dr. Carter." And everybody else who's watching. And Sister China said, General number 6, receive, obey, and pass on to the sender who relieves me. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Well, I want to thank you very much, Brother Muniqui Muhammad, for taking time out of your busy schedule all the way from Japan. You've done an amazing job. I want to thank everybody who's watching. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off with the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
Thank you very much. Bye.